TNT Logging Show. It's a TNT Logging Show. Gotta get it, let's go. It's a TNT Logging Show. It's a TNT Logging Show. Gotta get it, let's go. It's the TNT Logging Show. It's the TNT Logging Show. Gotta get it, let's go. It's the TNT Logging Show. It's the TNT Logging Show. Gotta get it, let's go. 848 L2 on the pool. Got 4 Mack trucks, they all want wood. 726 E love cutting guns. 643 says I want some. 234 they love low tree. Summertime polish so thick make them sleep. 3% polish Chevron is my green. Cost $1,000 but I need new teeth. This a pine thinning but I love a clear cut. Cut it off the stump so I'm about an oak bud. Water still dripping out, there's number weight. Just notified, okay, gross 88. 50K will push a roll super straight. Brown sauce is I swear don't play. Can't forget the steel pole saw, it's okay. Just trim the load up, I'm heading that way. It's the TNT Logging Show. It's the TNT Logging Show. Gotta get it, let's go. It's the TNT Logging Show. It's the TNT Logging Show. Gotta get it, let's go. It's the TNT Logging Show. It's the TNT Logging Show. Gotta get it, let's go.
Get tired, put in some more work.
Logging Show. Gotta get it, let's go. It's the TNT Logging Show. It's the TNT Logging Show. Gotta get it, let's go.
All right. How y'all doing? Welcome to the first episode of Legendary Loggers. I am your host, Mr. T.O. The person I have right here before me, tell me your name.
Thomas J. Richardson.
And this actually so happened to be my father. Okay, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And let's get started here. Where are you from, Mr. Richardson?
It was Mississippi.
Okay, it was Mississippi. All right, and one of the other things that we really would love to know, explain your story, as a child. It's coming up, your challenges that you had to face. Also tell them how old you are.
Yeah. Well, I'm 70 years old. And I started out real young. My father, thank God, owned his own place. And we had to plow mule and raise cotton and raise all the food we ate. And we worked here on the farm. And thank God someday we didn't have, basically meat or something at a meal. My mom sometimes used to cook for my sisters and brother, and it wouldn't be enough, so she wouldn't eat nothing as long as the children ate. And so, but I thank God that we kept on pushing. And I would go to school and go to school without breakfast and couldn't afford to get dinner. And we came home and my mom would tell she ain't cooked yet. Go to the field. By the time you come out the field, she'll have dinner cooked for us. So really we worked all day. I went all day without anything eating. So I used to always say, life should be better than this. And so, but I stayed there. I started. My daddy gave me a cultivator and a mule when I was about 9 years old. I was too short to even hold the cultivator from the top. I had to hold it from the bottom. And he would tell me I was cultivating cotton. And he would tell me, you better not plow up the cotton. And so a couple times, a time went by me being so short, I couldn't help but the cultivator get away because it was bigger than I would. And plow up a little cotton. Well, daddy plow up, I stopped and set it back out. Because I know my daddy meant business.
Right.
Yeah, he meant not for you not plied up.
All right, he meant that.
He meant that. So I stopped and set that cotton back out. And thank God that we plowed mule, raised our own crop. And we had our own hogs, cattle, and stuff like that as we grew older. And we could kill hogs and stuff. We kill 7 or 8 hogs a year, and the whole community would come in. Everybody got something to eat. So I thank God for that. And as I continue to grow, I got up about 12 or 13. And my daddy, he always would go out of town, try to get a job. And we had to see at the cows, the hogs, the pasture fence. We had to do all that. Just little 13-year-old boys, fix the fences. Cows get out, go get them. Hogs get out, had to go put them back in and fix. We just 13 years old. And so I thank God for my mom. She instilled that in me. Tell, y'all got to do it. Y'all the men of the family, so you all got to do it, and we had to do it. And as time grew, I think I was about 15, and I started working for a little old place down in Itwas, little old service station. And I worked 5.5 days fixing truck tires, changing oil, washing cars, and all of that, pumping gas for $57 a week for 5.5 days. They gave me $57 a week. And after that, I went on and I said, Adam Ake Farm had a job out there, paid 75 cents an hour. And I started working for them. And I worked a while for them, and I said, well, it was more, I always wanted more.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't want to go back because I wanted more. And so as I worked there, I was a little old boy. I went to Jackson, and I got hired at the
Now Jackson where?
Jackson, Mississippi.
Okay, Jackson, Mississippi.
Mm-hmm. I got hired at the industrial plant up there where they make TV cabinets. And I was too young. I wasn't 18. And the guy come out there and look at me and said, where's your certificate where you're registered? I told him they ain't sent it yet.
You're right.
He told, I lied to him. I told they ain't sent it yet, but I was so good at working. He hired me and kept me there. And working on that job, and I making pretty good money, about $2 or something. And we were making TV cabinets there. And so it got on up, and I worked for a milk company, distributing milk and stuff on a milk truck. And then it come on down. My daddy used to be a logger. He used to logger with a Caterpillar and them buck saws, 2 main saws.
Now Caterpillar what?
Dozer.
Okay, Caterpillar.
Yeah,
dozer.
didn't have no blade on it, but he would go down them hollers and pull that log out.
Mm-hmm.
And so as I got older, I wanted to log. So I had bought me a 700 Ford truck, put me a log bed on it, and I had old tricycle wheel tractor. And so the thing about it, how hard I worked, if I cut a log in a place, then I had to turn around and cut a road to get the tractor there to the log. Cut a road just like you driving a truck in because you didn't want to blow out your tire.
Right.
And so that's all day long. You find a log, you throw it, then you got to cut a road to get it. And so I started from there. And most people don't know what to call highline.
Now, how old were you around this time?
I guess I was around 19 at that time.
19 when you first took
Started.
on the road of entrepreneurship.
Right, about 19 years old.
Okay, 19 years old.
And we would pull them logs up to the truck, and they put
The
highline skid poles up there, and you had a cable, 2 cables would hook in the top of a tree and hook on each end of the log, and then you hook the tractor to it, and it'll pick that log, slide that log on up where it go on the truck. And sometimes you have to pull the truck out, and when you get the log up, you bag the truck back under the log, then let the log down on the truck. So that's where I started out. And one day, the guy had a Mack truck, an old 72 Mack truck, and he wanted $6,000 for that truck. And I had worked that week in logging, and I had made just about all that money. And I said, well, I'm gonna get that truck. And I had a brother-in-law said, man, if I had the money in my hand, I wouldn't give it for no truck.
Right.
But he didn't understand. I wanted to go further.
Right.
And do more.
Right.
So,
so let me ask you this now.
Mm-hmm.
So you had $6,000.
Had $6,000.
Never had $6,000 before in your life.
Never had this in my life.
So you actually took that $6,000 and still saying, okay, I worked hard enough to make this $6,000. I'm gonna be comfortable and be okay with that. But you not only took that $6,000 from all the hard work you did, you took that $6,000 to actually put yourself in a better situation to make yourself even more money. You bet it on yourself.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I bought that truck, and that week, and when I bought that truck, I was doing the same thing loading in the tractor because I didn't have a loader.
Right. And
that truck made me enough money to buy me a loader. And look at that. They bought me a loader, bought me an old loader on a truck. So when I pulled that wood out, I didn't have to whoop out highline. They just take that knuckle boom, pick it up, and set it on the truck.
Right.
And so that week, I made enough money. I said, I'm gonna try to find me a skidder. And back then, they was pretty high, and the only skidder we could get most of the warm people that had them and wore them out. Then you had to get it, try to fix it to make it work. But I did. Found me old International skidder, and I could go in the woods and have to cut a road for it. Get the logs and bring them out up there to the ramp and take the knuckle boom, set them on the truck and go to the mill and come back. So my production had doubled already.
Exactly.
So 6,000 went from 6,000 to something like 12 and 13,000. Man, ain't no way I'll spend that money and already got it. But if you want to go move forward, you can't just set in one rut.
Right.
You want
the vision. It's the vision.
Yeah, you got to have a vision. The Bible said, without a vision, you should perish.
Right.
And so I went to moving up in my logging business. Sometime I make 10, sometime 12, and you have to always realize though. You have to keep that money in the right place, because if you tore it back in, you had to go in there and pull that out and fix that. And I was a person that if I tore up some on my truck, I would always had a vision I could fix it.
Right.
And I would pull that back end out and look at it. And then I would take that back end up there, Jackson, Mississippi. And the guys up there, they had some back end had already put together. And so we would just swap. But after so long, I didn't swap. I started fixing my own back end. I didn't have to pay nobody to do that.
Right.
And like on my skidder, they would charge $9,000 and $10,000 to overhaul a skidder. And I was always standing right there with that mechanic watching
for the engine
to see what he done and how he done it.
Right.
I said, because if I learn enough, I won't have to give him this money.
Right.
And so time came where engine went out in my skidder, we would go get the parts around 2 o'clock. It went out that day. I would go to Jackson and Mississippi and get the parts and came back, and we would overhaul that skidder that night. Sometimes we finish up, it'd be 2:30 at night. I had that skidder ready for the driver to get on it the next morning. Work all night till we got it ready.
2:30 in the morning.
2:30 in the morning till I got that joker ready. And so those are things that people need to understand. If you want to go somewhere, you got to have a vision.
Right. What you doing, little working man? Putting the tube back up.